I'm standing by what I think used to be an old corn crib on our property. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but there's just some concrete here, and the previous owner filled it with dirt. And the previous owner also had asparagus growing here, but they also had a lot of things like milkweed or other perennial flowers and things like that. And I've been working on turning it into a perennial garden bed. So I transplanted any asparagus that was growing kind of on this end over to the other side so that I can keep that all together. And then I got some rhubarb from some friends and I transplanted that over here. I planted some strawberries on the other side, and I've planted chives and mint so far. But today I want to work on getting the rest of the weeds pulled out of here. Once I get some of the weeds out, I plan to plant some more seeds in this end over here. I want to plant some thyme and oregano, maybe some other perennial things that will come back. And then once I'm done with that, I have some mulch over here so that I can cover everything and make it look nice. But before I do that, I'll take you around and show you how everything is right now. On this end, I haven't done much except for pull a bunch of weeds, which a lot of them have grown back because I didn't have the mulch yet to put over this end. We had a tree on this side back here that we took out, and I've transplanted some asparagus that was over here. You can see there's one asparagus right there that's got to get moved still. Over here you can see there's a stump in here that just keeps generating this new growth, so I need to get this all cut back again and probably covered with something to keep it from growing back. I put mint in here, and I just took an old fire pit that we had and cut the bottom out of it to plant the mint in to contain it to a smaller area so it doesn't take over the whole entire garden. I did the same thing with the chives right here. I put them in a pot that's buried in the ground. I have a bunch of rhubarb planted in the back there. And then in the front here, I planted a few strawberries, maybe 5 or 6 plants. And then I painted some rocks red here just to try to trick the birds into thinking it was fruit, and then they'll peck it. They'll learn that it's rocks, and then later, if I do get strawberries, they'll think that they're also rocks. I've heard that it works. I'm not sure, but we're gonna test it out. And back here, I have a ton of asparagus. Now, back here is where most of it was, and a lot of what I transplanted, I added to this area here. So I have weeded this area once, but I didn't mulch it, so a lot of the weeds grew back. So I need to get those pulled out again, and then I'm going to mulch it today. You can see that I'm watering it right now, hoping that'll help make the weeds easier to pull. And then eventually, on the end here, I plan to square off this bed, but right now there's some pretty established asparagus that's growing in the grass, so I would like to transplant that also, if I can find some space for it anyway. I'll wrap around the other side just so you can see the other side, and then I'll get to work. there's a stump in the ground right here, and this is like my third time cutting this back already. So if you have any tips for how to get rid of it without putting Roundup on it, since I have food all around it, let me know in the comments. These right here are baby asparagus, so I'm going to try to uproot these with the shovel and take them over to a little bare spot I have in the asparagus side and transplant them. I'm going to see if I can dig out this larger asparagus. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it in one piece because the roots are pretty deep and they go out pretty wide, so we'll see what happens. So the stalk completely separated from the crown, which is probably okay. I'll just try to dig up the crown and transplant that. This bed is looking much better now. I got most of the weeds pulled, and I took my bags from my mulch, like the plastic bags, and I ended up putting those on top of the stumps that I had in here, and I'm just kind of hoping that that will suppress any of the growth that has been happening, because I've already cut those back several times and they've come back in full force with a lot of bushiness. So I'm really hoping that that will help. I covered them with mulch and rocks, so we'll see what happens there. I'll let you know if it works or not. On the end down here, I took some popsicle sticks and I just labeled like 4 quadrants, sort of, and I planted sage, rosemary, oregano, and thyme. The seeds are so small, so I just sprinkled them around, and I'm hoping a few of them take, and if a whole bunch of them take, I'll just end up thinning them out. But for now, I'm going to be done over here. I'll clean it up more later, add some more mulch later also. It was a little bit thin back in the asparagus patch. But for now, that's going to be a wrap for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.